So we don't really know each other that well, do we? I mean, for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Saw you a lot at like the old vlog house and everything.
Yeah. I've always come in and I've always seen you like cooking.
It's always just like a hi.
Yeah, it's like,
how are you?
Hi Kristen, how are you? And then you're like, good, just making some food. I'm like, wow, what are you making? You're like, this. I'm like, cool.
It smells great.
Smells great. And then that's really it. And I guess I've always been very curious about you only because you seem to be, out of everybody, the most like calm.
I was gonna say.
You seem the most calm. Like you're just cooking and then you're just like hanging out and you're just like being you, just around everybody. So I guess the question I was gonna ask is, who are you?
Who am I? This is a question.
No, I mean, okay, fine. Let's start it back. I know you and Todd are dating.
Todd?
I mean, oh God, oh my God, no! You and Scott are dating. I get them confused all the time, and I've known for 3 years.
Everybody does.
That was terrible. I'm sorry.
And I'm glad to say I'm the one person that doesn't get the names confused.
Oh, well, that's good.
That'd be terrible.
Todd, are you awake?
Oh God.
What are you fucking? No, okay, but you and Scott have been dating for like 3 years.
Yeah, like 3.5, 4, damn near.
Man,
I don't know, a while.
So where did you? Okay, wait. Like I want to backtrack. Where did you like grow up?
I grew up in the Bay Area, like the East Bay.
Okay.
30 minutes from San Francisco, and it was just a smaller town. Nothing like, not like a one-stoplight town, like small, but very suburban.
Suburbia.
Suburbia. There we go.
Okay. Not like too rich, not too poor, just in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I personally grew up on like the less wealthy side of the town, though.
Okay.
So I didn't grow up like too wealthy at all, and I was fine with it. I mean, it did kind of instill like financial fears in me at a young age. So
was it ever like was it like fast food every night kind of deal?
Yeah.
It was me too.
So I got like kind of like scared by that. So like going into my future, I feel like I've pushed myself to like not live that lifestyle and like not make that lifestyle for like my future family. But
but like if you were to be in that position now, you wouldn't have this weird like childhood comfortability. I don't even know if that's a word. Because like I had the same experience when I was a kid. I lived in a bad apartment.
Yep, I was in an apartment. I lived in an attic. That was my room. I literally lived in the attic.
Like Harry Potter?
Literally. I am a wizard.
Okay. So you lived in the attic, and do you ever just crawl up in your guys' attic sometimes at the house and you're just like,
feels so safe here.
Feels like home.
Oh God.
No, but what I'm saying is that like I did the same thing, and I mean it wasn't the best apartment, and now I choose to live in an apartment that feels like home, because that's what my house felt like.
Yeah.
And it's just comfortable.
Yeah.
Like that's what I started to realize was like this is just starting to feel comfortable.
Of course.
But for you it was like different. It was like
get me out of here.
I want to get the fight. Yeah.
I want to get out of this.
Yeah.
I mean, on like a spatial level, I feel like I'm fine with small spaces. Like Scott said, like, oh, I want a big house. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do big houses. They freak me out now. But
from the
because I'm so used to like the small apartment.
Yeah, a small little place, but the big. I mean, you lived in a big house with.
That was the first like big house I'd ever lived in, and it was so weird. I mean, and it was haunted.
Both your houses were haunted, it seems, right?
Oh yeah, it was terrible. I don't know if it's following me or what, but.
Wait, it's not still this new one.
No, this one's good.
Okay.
This one's good. So maybe it's David. Maybe it's David.
Okay, so you were in the Bay Area, and you lived in a little attic, and then you went. Did you go to school?
Yeah. Okay. So I went to just like a normal public school, and I grew up, and I was a cheerleader, so that was like how I was social growing up, and like in my family, I was social and extroverted and wanted to like go to school and get good grades and go to college and make this life for me, and everybody else in my family is very, very content with just like chilling. Like,
sure,
I'm the first one in my family to go to college.
You're the first one that wanted to shake up the norm.
Yeah.
And be like, let's do something. Come on, guys. And
for
they're like,
sure.
Let's just stay in and watch a movie or something.
Exactly. And it's very like known amongst my family, so this isn't anything crazy if they were to hear this. And it's something that where they're like, no, that's cool, you want to do that, go do it. Can't really help you with it because I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. But there wasn't any opposition. There weren't like, you can't do any of these things, you got to work at the thing. work at the place.
For a little bit, I feel like my mom kind of was like move up in a company. Like, that's how you're gonna, get your job, blah, blah, blah. Because that's what she did. She worked at a bank when she was like 20 something, and she still works in banking, but she's like managing multiple branches. Like, she like moves up. So that she kind of put that on me when I had my first job when I was like 15, and I was like, no, like, that's so boring. I want constant change, and that's why I love what I do now.
Yeah,
'cause every single day is different.
Yeah,
like, really.
That's interesting. Only because like that, you don't want to stay at one place forever.
It killed me. It killed me so much. She's like, that's just the way it is, and I'm like, fuck, that's the way it is. Like, get me out of here.
It's so disheartening when your parents tell you that.
Yeah.
Because you look up so much to your parents. You believe everything your parents say, especially at a young age. And when they go like, yeah, no, this is it. This is how it's supposed to be. And then you realize that that's not true. You're like, well, why did you say that?
Yeah,
like, you could have told me that wasn't the case. Like, people can do things other than that.
But then I always think, like, to that point, like, okay, Mom, why'd you say that? Like, that's not the case, blah, blah, blah. They still, like, this is gonna, I'm so bad at wording things, I don't know if this is gonna make any sense.
No, go ahead.
But they're still, like, they were 20-something one time. They had to learn life, too. Like, nobody taught them the ropes. We look at them like they know everything, but they don't.
Yeah.
Our parents are still individuals that had one path, too, that haven't seen everything, but we think they know everything, but they don't.
Well, yeah, you mean just discovering your parents are people. Just like they're people.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's a weird day to find that out. I'm trying to figure out when it clicked in my brain.
Oh my god, it's always clicked for me because my mom and I, like, our relationship, like, I respect her. I look up to her, but we're also like sisters. Yeah. Like, she'll talk shit to me and I'll talk it right back.
Yeah.
And someone might see that and be like, oh my god, you're talking to your mother like that, and it's like,
yeah.
But that's just
that's your guys' dynamic.
It is. It totally is, and she gives it right back 10 times harder. Like, there's no like upper hand here. It's just kind of how we are. But then part of me is like, shit, that might be kind of bad because that might be
what?
I have an attitude.
You might what?
I said that might be why I have an attitude. Because sometimes when I argue, like, I have such a bad attitude, and I think it's because my mom never like told me to stop.
Sure.
She like gave it back.
Oh, she never said that's not okay or something?
Well, she did. Like,
but she was also, like, kind of feeding into it.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, now you're like, well, keep feeding into it. Like, you want people when you're in an argument
I'm arguing.
Yeah, to keep feeding into it. Huh.
That's where I'm at.
Well, yeah, the whole, just going back to the parents thing, just like, I was at Thanksgiving with my parents, because both my parents are divorced, and they, were both at my dad's house, and they remained friends.
Good.
And I was just looking at them, and I was like looking at my brothers, and I was like, holy crap, like, this whole thing's happening because you guys just banged once. Like,
that's so, you know what
I mean?
I had that same thing this Thanksgiving too. My grandma was talking about a drunk night she had with my grandpa.
Yeah.
And then my uncle was like, or I said something like, whatever, crazy drunk night, and my uncle was like, yeah, that's how I was made too. And I was like, holy shit, that's how technically I was made, because they were made and they had my dad, and then my dad, like,
and then it keeps like going down. You're like, oh, wait, because I'm like, oh, it's just like, I'm like destined to like be here, not like destined, but it's like, oh, it makes sense, like I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm supposed to be alive, and I was like, I'm actually not to. Like, technically it's a mistake, it's an accident. I'm fine with it, I enjoy it,
of course,
but still I'm like, this wasn't supposed to happen. Like, they didn't want to have a kid. Like, they wanted, because I'm the youngest and I have two brothers, so when they had the first, when they had my oldest brother, they were just like, okay, well, now we gotta be parents, and now we have to be together. And then they had the second, once again, just out of nowhere, and then they were like, okay, crap, we should probably start wearing something. And as soon as they said that, he was like, what? And then I came out, and that was it. Like they kept saying, like, we should probably do something, and then they were like, okay, fine, we're done. Can't do this anymore with children. So yeah, it was just weird when you realize that your whole, or at least this is not everyone's family,
of course,
because some people have very strict, like, we're gonna have children, I love you, we're gonna have 3 kids, their names are gonna be Leonardo, and
that's crazy,
whatever. And
because Monica and I have an older sister, we were accidents too. So
really,
my sister So my mom and my dad, they're not together anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't talk to my dad at all.
Uh-huh.
They
Uh-huh.
were together, and my mom was on birth control, but she had like a sinus infection or something, so she was taking antibiotics that cancels out birth control.
Oh.
And the made Mama come. And then I was just like an accident. I don't think it was another antibiotic situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how I'm here.
They just drank NyQuil while she was on birth control. It's like find out the side of the interactions, the drug interactions.
There we go.
Drug interactions is child, possibly.
Child. Might pop out a child.
Yeah. Okay, so you went to school, and you were a cheerleader. When did you move out here?
I moved out here, I was 20.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 20. And I moved out here to finish the rest of my schooling. So I went to FITM up north, and at the time, they didn't have the bachelor's program at that campus. And so everybody, like a lot of my class, moved down to LA to finish it at the downtown campus.
Mm.
And then I lived down there, and I finished schooling, and that was kind of it. But then right before, so like, let's see, I moved in September, and in April before, I went to Coachella and I met Scott. And he was like, yo, I'm from Huntington Beach, Florida, like I live in LA. And I was like, well, I'm moving to LA in like September.
Yeah.
And so it kind of all fell into place, like that.
At Coach.
At Coach.
At Coach.
I went to Coachella.
I did not know you guys met at Coach.
Yeah.
And so, like, was it just like that day or that night you're like, oh, I like Huntington Beach too, and then it just went into like, you kept, like, how did it transpire? Sorry, how did it transpire?
It was like, so we met, and then we hung out that night, and then we said bye. We didn't get each other's numbers.
Yeah.
And he didn't know where my campsite was. Like, I knew where his was, but like that, whatever. Whatever. And so I go back to my campsite. Next day we wake up, and it was the first day of Coachella. And we're walking in. It was me, my friend Alex, my friend Leanna. And we were scanning in our wristbands, and Leanna's wristband goes, eh. And she tries again, eh. And the security guard's like, your wristband's fraud. Like, this isn't real.
Yeah.
She's like, what? Oh my God. She got it off Craigslist. So, like, she took that gamble, whatever. And so we're like, what do we do? And he's like, I can't, I have to clip it off. It's my job, like, whatever. So we're walking back to camp. Alex and I both have, like, good wristbands. Leanna doesn't. We're crying. Like, we're literally just like, okay, good, child, like, walking. Yeah. And I look up, and, like, walking towards me was Scott, Todd, and Gary Rojas. You remember him?
Yeah, I remember Gary.
They were walking.
Wild crew.
The OG. And they're walking towards us, and I look up, and I was just like, oh my God, like, wipe my tears. I'm like, yeah, holy shit, hi. Like, because we had no intention to, like, meet back up necessarily. Yeah. And he was just like, what's going on? We're like, oh, her wristband doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. And then at that point, we're like, we're just going to go try and figure it out. Like, hopefully someone's selling one. Like, you guys go inside. Like, we'll catch up later. And we're like, okay, I guess we should get each other's numbers.
That's so...
We got each other's numbers, and we hung out almost every moment, besides he went to a off-site party thing for a couple hours, but we hung out the whole rest of the weekend. And then after that, we texted every single day, literally since. And we visited each other a couple times. Like, he came to the Bay, and then I went down to Huntington, like, I'd say like 4 or 5 times before I actually moved. And then when I moved and I got here, it was kind of like almost like re-dating in a way, because we had been texting and like calls and whatnot, but right when I got here, it was like, okay, now we hang out in person. Like, now we're with each other's being. And so we did that for like September, October, 2 months. And then in November, we went to Vegas for like a Red Bull thing he had to do. Yeah. And he introduced me to somebody and was like, oh, this is my girlfriend, Kristen. I was like, girlfriend. And that's it. Now we're together.
So, okay, wait. So I'm just to backtrack. So your friend's thing. So basically,
she got a ticket. Don't worry.
Oh, she got in. She ended up.
She had a good one.
Okay, so but if that hadn't happened, do you think that you would have seen Scott?
I believe in fate, so I do.
Okay.
I do think it would have ended up working out, but we've talked about that. Like,
Yeah.
my friends and I were like, holy shit, like, if your ticket wasn't fraud, like, we wouldn't have seen him again.
Because that goes back to what I was saying about, like, you know, not, like, kind of like accidents. Like, happy accidents. Like the whole family thing. Like, that was a whole accident. Like, you and Scott meeting. It's a fantastic thing that it happened.
Yeah.
But it was kind of an accident.
It was an accident.
And I don't know. It's just, that's what's funny to me about, like, most of the world, is that most of it is stumbling accidents that happen to work out and that happen to be great, but that you just kind of stumble into something good.
That's why I think fate's a thing. Because, like, yeah, we were accidents, but, like, our parents had us on accident, but we were, like, you were all supposed, I can't talk. You were supposed to be here to be a good friend to this person, to be a good boyfriend to this person, like, 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 you're just supposed to be here. Like,
yeah.
It sounds so cliche and we hear it all the time, but, like, anytime something, like, good, especially, anytime something good happens in my life, I'm like, yep, I'm supposed to be here. Like, this is good. I'm on the right track. So, we're accidents, but I think it would have happened either way.
Happy accidents.
I think we're just, like, this is a whole other conversation, but I think we're all, I believe in reincarnation, so we're all, like, these floating souls.
Okay.
And you were going to be brought down into a human, whether it was with your parents or these two people or those two people, you know, like, your soul was going to come down to earth at any
Since
point.
you believe in the reincarnation, does it work for, like, so, like, my dog, was that, like, Charles Manson?
Oh, I believe in that. So my childhood cat, one of mine, four, in the apartment.
Oh my God. In the attic?
Yes.
Okay.
One of them is, like, she actually passed away, like, I think like a month ago.
Yeah.
But she was so close to my stepdad, like, so close, like, weirdly, like, they had, like, a ritual when he'd get home, like, she'd hop up on his pillow and, like, like, damn near like a dog, like, how they have, like, routines, whatever. And I remember him saying, because he lost his mom at, like, a young age, and he's always thought that, like, her name's Princess Purper, is her name for short, that's his mom reincarnated, because, like, they just had, like, this weird bond that he always explained he couldn't put in words, but, like, it was like a mother-son type of thing, like.
This is with a cat?
Yeah. So I think you can go back into an animal too. Like, I think.
Whoa.
I hear so many stories about, like, someone losing somebody and then they get this animal as, like, a therapy animal, and then they're like, holy shit, like.
That's my uncle.
This is my.
Yeah.
Uncle, is that you? You look great.
Yeah. That's Jeff, who worked at Arby's, who died of tuberculosis 5 years ago.
You, Jeff.
Yeah. No, like, that's been my biggest fear. Is I'm under the mindset that, like, when I die, I hope that's it. I really hope that's it, because I don't want to have to come back as an ant.
As an ant.
I would hate that.
And live for 30 hours.
3 days and then get stomped on by a kid at soccer practice, and then you're now, like, I don't know, a roach, and then you get stomped on, and then you become a human again, and then you have 90 years of a human. But I don't want to. It makes it, like, weird, because I want it to be like a one and done. Life was great, done. I don't want to keep reliving other lives that I don't know the people that, you know what I mean? Where I don't, like, know or remember things.
But this fact that you don't remember is what makes it refreshing every time. Because, like, I mean, I'm not in your head, but do you feel exhausted in this life? Do you feel like, oh, I already did this?
Well, no, I mean,
it's new to you.
It's all new.
So I think
I feel exhausted. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I have to go
tired.
I have to go fucking, I have to wake up. Oh, God damn. Okay.
Understandably.
I have to get dressed. Okay, let's do it again.
I think, like, you don't, obviously, you don't remember everything in your past life. Like, if in your past life you were this colonial woman that married a guy named Bob and you were abused, like, you don't remember that.
Yeah.
But what I also see playing out is, like, people argue, like, oh, if your fears are usually, like, how you died or whatever in your past life. But I kind of don't believe that one, because my biggest fear is butterflies. And I don't know
why.
What could have happened in my past life. Maybe I was like, what? I don't know. What
could have happened?
What do butterflies
You're a
prey
caterpillar.
on?
You're a caterpillar. Oh, no, caterpillars are butterflies.
Yeah.
So you would have been... Butterflies don't... Do
I think they prey on it.
What do they
They're
prey?
really gentle. I have no reason to be afraid of them.
Would it be the flower? Do they have anything to do with pollen? Do they eat pollen?
I don't know.
Just trying to think what a butterfly... I don't think a butterfly harms a single thing.
You feel better. I know it's a ridiculous.
No, it's like, I understand why you would be afraid of butterflies, because they're insects and they're weird looking.
Ugh.
I don't like insects in general, but I mean, butterflies, like, there's that saying, like, oh, I got butterflies in my heart, but you're like, oh God, I got butterflies in my heart.
Get them out.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very much.
Yeah, you just say, I feel
I'm
good.
Just nervous. Like.
Nothing to do with, yes. Oh, so you have butterflies? Yeah, no fucking butterflies.
I did not say that.
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so, kind of on this topic of animals and stuff, every time I see you cooking, it's like vegan, I think? Or is it not?
No.
It's just healthy?
Yeah, just
okay.
healthy. I mean, I like to cook vegan because I think it's challenging.
Uh-huh.
Because, like, I could cook salmon, I could cook chicken, whatever, but, like...
You just throw it on the stove, the pan, and it just cooks.
But vegan is more, I think it's more fun, it's more creative, because, like, you want to make tacos, you don't use meat, you use jackfruit. And you have to, like, season the jackfruit, like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I fucking love jackfruit.
Oh, fuck yes.
So would you, because what I've also gathered from knowing you is you seem very into, like, the environment.
Yes.
So, like, what do you think of it now? The environment now?
It scares me.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, I mean, I know it's at an all-time low.
Like that band.
It's just like that band, so there's my analogy. It scares me, and at times, like, in the past, like, growing up and stuff, if people were like, you know, be good to the world, blah, blah, I would be like, well, what's the point? We're not going to cure it. Like, I always had that mentality.
Kind of, like, cynicism that's almost lazy.
Exactly. I was like, what? Is me using a reusable water bottle really going to do something? But, like, and now I'm at a point where I'm like, holy fuck, yes, it is. Like, it absolutely is. And if everybody, even if, like, 100 people had that negative mindset and were able to switch it, that can make a whole community into, like, a recycling community or whatever. Like, I think it's, my thing is, like, okay, I might not be doing, in my personal life, I might not be doing everything 100% environmentally friendly. And it's hard to do that, especially in the world where we're not environmentally friendly. Like, you know, I go to the gym and I'm using one of their towels. They might be using this terrible chemically filled detergent, but like I can't control that. So it's hard to live 100% environmentally friendly life, but I think we can all take steps towards it. Like, I'm not sitting here preaching that I do everything perfect, because I don't.
Yeah.
Even down to the point of the fact that I eat meat. A lot of, you know, like, the meat industry is terrible for the environment. Yeah. But I'm sitting here and I'm still eating meat, and it's like,
well, I mean, you can't. Not everybody could be 100% like totally natural if you live in a modern
society, especially like LA. Like, look at our air quality alone. On a good day, it's like at 60. Like, it's not that good.
You can taste it.
I can taste it. It cakes on my skin.
It's like gasoline.
I've actually purposely not worn makeup one day, and then I go out the whole day and I come home and I wipe it off with like a rag, and it's fucking dirty.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
It's like a desert or something.
But
it's weird too, because like LA is the most, like, you talk to any person in LA, like, oh yeah, gluten free, and you know, like you know, whatever, no GMOs. But then you're saying all this in a cesspit. You know what I mean? Like, you're saying it in the worst place to say it. Like,
it's like, yeah, I got these tomatoes from like a Burbank farm. It's like, yeah, in this gross ass fucking air, like, so
it's like talking about being drug free in a crack house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
An analogy for LA.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I try to do what I can, and I try to, like, inspire others and whatnot, because that's what I needed. It, like, opened my eyes. Was just like even just like one fact can open up somebody's eyes. Like, the fact that
it's getting hotter.
Just go outside, it's getting hotter. But, like, there's a pile of trash in the ocean the size of Texas. Like,
What?
How could that... Exactly. Like, how could that not make you at least like, oh shit, maybe I should set down this water bottle right now? Like, if that doesn't just like tick you a little bit, then maybe the next fun fact will. But like, I don't know. It blows my mind.
Where is that? I kind of want to go there, underwater Texas. It's like Atlantis.
Let's go.
Let's go. Wait.
It's a beautiful thing. It's... Where is it? I want to look it up.
It's not the trench, is it? The Marianas Trench or whatever?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Hold on.
Well, yeah, no, that fact
Now I'm
alone.
curious.
No, yeah, I'm curious too. But that fact alone, I'm like, okay, well, it's unfortunate. There's probably a lot of seals that have to deal with that.
Exactly.
And a lot of fish, and seals and fish seem nice. That always what it goes back to. I'm always like, well, like, I don't want seals to be covered in oil.
Exactly. I think that's a big thing that also gets people. It's like the animals, and that's true. It's like, fuck.
I like certain animals. I don't like every animal.
It's between Hawaii and California. I was gonna say the West Coast, but...
Oh, okay. Hawaii and California. So there's just an underwater Texas between Hawaii and California.
That's insane. It's
That's
literally
just
the size of
trash.
Texas. Yep.
Why is it all compiled into one mass?
I would just assume like the currents, like coast to coast, like
Puts it all together.
Yeah, it's like pushing it.
Oh
closer and
man.
closer.
Can you imagine how many there's probably like an underwater trash like Wisconsin.
Oh, probably.
Underwater trash LA. Actually, no, it's not an underwater
All the
trash.
fish are gluten free.
Yeah. Just yeah.
That's another thing that scares me is the ocean. For like that reason, like yeah, fucking dirty as hell, whatever. But like,
yeah,
we haven't explored any of it.
Oh,
and I'm terrified.
That is an endless fear.
I hate water.
I know that is an endless fear of mine too. Just that's why I believe all the stuff like Loch Ness and
oh for sure,
like even like old tales like the Kraken. I'm like all that's real.
It's all real
because there's just no way that there can be all that. Just
fishies and sharks. And
yeah.
It's like, no.
Don't worry, guys. Everything we know, fishies, sharks, seals, everything's fine. There's not a giant fucking octopus that randomly eats ships that go missing.
Do you believe in a simulation?
No.
You don't?
I mean, you can say that. Of course you can say that it's a simulation because, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But to me, a simulation would mean, like, I throw, like, a cup at a guy and the cup like just disintegrate. Like that's a simulation to me.
Yeah.
But if I can like feel like pain and stuff and like if I get shot, I bleed and I die, and it hurts, then I'm like, this doesn't feel like it just feels real.
Yeah.
And if it is a simulation, whoever programmed the fucking thing.
Really well.
No, I think whoever programmed the thing was like a college student who got high. Because this is a strange simulation to make. Because it's so weird, the world. So I'm like,
I don't necessarily believe in it either.
You
I'm
don't?
like, no, because a lot of people say like, oh yeah, it's like, it's all for research, blah blah. I'm like, what are they researching?
Yeah, they've had 1,000 years to figure out that people don't like each other that much, and people go to war and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what they're researching? They figured it out.
Cycle.
Yeah, it's like
you get it now?
Like you can be here for 10 minutes and you can figure that out.
Literally, read a book, read a headline. I don't mind dying, but I'm just scared that when and if I die and I'm in that white room, that I'm not gonna have Scott. I'm not gonna have Link. I'm not gonna have my parents. I just hope I don't remember them.
Oh,
I would hate to die and be like, I'm alone. You know what? Like that makes me anxious just thinking about it.
That thought, yeah, it's the same for me. It's like dying and not remembering or remembering and not having those things be there.
I'd rather not remember. I'd rather like it just wipe clean.
Yeah, and then you're just in that white room. Just like, I'm curious, like
curious.
Yeah, I get so like, oh my god, like what's going on? Like after you die and stuff, but then like I'll figure it out when it happens.
Exactly.
But if I keep worrying about it while I'm here, then I didn't enjoy it while I was here.
Yep.
So even though me enjoying it while I'm here is just like eating Taco Bell and just,
like when we're both dead,
are
we gonna be like, yo, good to see you, dude. Like,
oh my god, like, did you see the crazy shit on the way up here too?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did your whole life just flash before your eyes too?
Rob Schneider was juggling.
I was juggling.
Yeah.
He looks great.
Yeah. Alright, bye. We're here by the way.
Oops, sorry.
Oh no, you're okay. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.